Hi, I'm Richard Mann, and this is Gunsite Academy Instructor Eric Ingersoll, and we've been talking about sighting options for the AR-15, specifically an AR-15, a fighting carbine. And we've got two Mossberg MMRs here. Eric's has a Crimson Trace red dot. This one has a Crimson Trace battle sight, which is 3.5x magnified fixed power. And then we also have a Crimson Trace reflex sight here, which is non-magnified. Eric, for the classes you teach, the students, that proper application of a fighting carbine, what do you prefer sight-wise?
Well, Richard, it all really depends on application. So before I get too far into this, let's talk about distance. If I'm shooting from 0 to 200 yards, roughly, I'm going to go with this particular red dot sight. Because what that does is on close quarters, if I'm going around cars under something or
working
in
inside
a close environment, yeah, I can shift the position of the sight, and all I have to do is put the dot on whatever I'm aiming at.
Yeah, the dot doesn't have to be centered or anything. It's parallax free.
That's correct. The rear stock can be completely collapsed or completely pulled out, so I'm good to go on close distances. Now, as a general rule, if you're going 200 to 400 yards on any type of engagement, you're going to want some type of magnified option. In your case, you have the fixed optic at 3.5?
Exactly.
Okay. So the only difference really in that one, it's a good sight. However, when you get a cheek weld on it, you have to get the proper cheek weld and have the sight set to the proper distance so you can actually look through
line your eye properly behind the sight. Well,
correct.
and that's one of the reasons I have this reflex sight mounted up front. If I'm working at really close quarters, then I have an option of a non-magnified optic I can switch to.
Yeah, that's good.
Just by slightly rotating the rifle.
And really, that sounds simple, but it all comes down to training.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If you just try and think that's going to work for you without training with
you
it,
look kind of
you're going to have a problem.
Yeah, agree.
We actually train that in our carbine class, so if you have one of those optics, we'll show you how to use it.
So kind of in summary, distance matters probably more than anything, and then personal preference second.
It's kind of a combination of the both, distance and personal preference. If you're trained with or proficient at whatever system you have, you can make it work. Bottom line is training.
Well, man, thanks for the insight. Thanks for watching. And when are you coming to Gunsite?
Gunsite Academy, originally the American Pistol Institute, was founded by former Marine Jeff Cooper in 1976. It's the oldest civilian firearms training academy in the world, with more than 50 instructors and 26 ranges covering 3,200 acres. Gunsite Academy trains thousands of civilians, law enforcement, and military personnel each year. Often called the Harvard of handguns and the Camelot of the Great Southwest, Gunsite is freedom's backbone.